The Skin I'm In, Summary and Analysis. Chapter 1. Chapter 1, Summary. In Chapter 1 of the book, we are introduced to the main character, Malika, as well as some other characters. Malika Madison, a math whiz at McClinton Middle School, is teased for her color and clothes. Ultimately, she borrows clothes from a schoolmate named Charlize and gains confidence by wearing them. Malika also meets a new teacher who she feels will be a threat to her social status at the school. What can we infer about Malika? Based on the information that is presented in Chapter 1 of the text, we can infer that Malika is insecure and self-doubting. Here are some quotes or statements from the book that prove this analysis of Malika. To tell the truth, she was a freak like me. It's bad enough that I'm the darkest, worst dressed thing in school. I'm also the tallest, skinniest thing you ever seen. I'm like Superman when I get Charlize's clothes on. So these are just 3 statements that suggest to us that 1, she is not confident in who she is as a person, and she is not confident in her place within the school. And 2, that she uses Charlize's clothes to give her the confidence or the self-assurance that she needs. What do we learn about Michael or Miss Sanders? The first thing we learn is that she is different from the norm. And the first different thing about her is her first name is what we would consider a boy's name or a male's name, Michael. 3 things we can infer about Miss Sanders. 1, she's not perfect. 2, she is well kept or well off. And she is positive. So what information did we use to infer this information about Miss Sanders? She's tall and fat like nobody's business, and she's got the smallest feet ever seen. Worse yet, she's got a giant white stain spread halfway across her face, like somebody tossed acid on it or something. She's wearing a dark purple suit and starched white shirt with matching purple buttons. This statement lets us know that she was well kept or well groomed. And of course, the first one that I read, it gives us a physical description of what she looks like. So as we are reading the text, we're able to get a visual of what she looks like. All right. And in addition to that, with the second statement or quote that I pulled from the book, we're able to see how she was dressed as well. Now, this statement is what she says to Malika after Malika would have been teased by John. And this lets us know that she is positive, or she will necessarily have something enlightening to say. Malika, your skin is pretty, like a blue-black sky after it's rained and rained. Now, John is the character that we would describe as a troublemaker, and I believe very on we see that John is one of those persons that plays a significant role in the teasing or taunting of Malika. Okay, so this here is just the physical description that we're given of John by Malika. Okay, John McIntyre is the smallest John McIntyre is the smallest 7th grader in the world. Even 5th graders can see over his head. Sometimes I have a hard time believing he and me are both 13. He's my color, but since second grade, he's been teasing me about being too black. So right within this chapter, we realize that John and Malika have something in common. Charlize. Well, of course, in chapter 1, we learn that Charlize is the girl that brings clothes to Malika for her to wear to school. But we also learn, based on what Malika tells us, is that Charlize is reliable, and in Bahamian terms, she's sometimey. Let's look at some statements from the chat that can prove our analysis of Charlize. Charlize lends me clothes to wear. Then Char walked up to me and told me to take off her clothes. So first she lends Malika the clothes, and then she comes back and asks Malika to take them off. So we can assume that she's an unreliable character or not stable in her ways. Here are some of the words to look for as you read: Amazon, lopsided, unraveling, solitary, and strutting. These are words that we would not normally see on a day-to-day basis, and we might not know the meaning of them. So take 2 seconds to see what some of the possible meanings of these words are. Figurative devices found in chapter 1. First one, Malika Malika, is an example of alliteration. And we know that alliteration is the repetition of the same sound at the beginning of words. Number 2, ba-boom, boom, boom. It can be an example of onomatopoeia, example of words that imitate sound, or it can be an example of the repetition of the same sound at the beginning of words. So if you put alliteration, you'll get it right. If you put onomatopoeia, you'll get it correct as well. 3, I'm like Superman with Charlize's clothes on. This is a simile. Her confidence is being compared to the strength and the confidence of Superman. So that is a simile. And we know that similes are a comparison between two unlike things using like or as. Number 4, Malika, your skin is pretty like a blue-black sky after it's rained and rain. So Malika's complexion is compared to the overcast skies after a rain or after some inclement weather. 5, John McIntyre is the smallest 7th grader in the world. This is an example of a hyperbole, and hyperbole is when there's an extreme exaggeration. So Malika doesn't know every 6th grader in the world. So this is just an extreme exaggeration of how small John is. Thank you so much for taking time to watch this video, and I hope that you found the information presented in the analysis and summary of chapter 1 of the Skin and Mane useful.